So, my opinion of the... I got...
Why are people caping so hard for Will Pinkett Smith when he seemed to be unbothered? Will Pinkett Smith seems unbothered and is living his best life. I call him Will Pinkett Smith because Jada's story is so entangled. Will also address some of the claims Jada Pinkett Smith makes in her memoir in an email response to the New York Times the following Saturday of her interview with Today's Show Hoda Colby. Will said in the paraphrase section of the article that his partner's book kind of woke him up and made him realize that his wife had lived a life more on the edge than he realized. And she is more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he'd understood. When you've been with someone for more than half your life, a sort of emotional blindness set in, and you can all too easily use your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties, Smith told the New York Times by email, right? Well, let's take a look at Will's response to all of the news about Jada, revealing the nuances of their relationship.
Our wide-ranging, revealing conversation made a lot of headlines. We talked about her journey from the streets of Baltimore to the heights of Hollywood, that incident at the Oscar, her battle with severe depression, her relationship with Will Smith, and after all of it, Jada says she's finally feeling worthy. That's the title of her new book. It's out tomorrow. It's an incredible read. It's packed with so much. So glad to see you
I'm
again.
Glad to see you.
So after we had our long sit down, this is stuff you've been carrying with you for many, many, many years, and it's out there.
Yeah.
So as we sit here today in a reflection of, was it the right thing to reveal, to talk about everything? Do you feel like you made the right choice?
Absolutely. I think you, at some point, I had to talk about my journey, And I think just like we were talking about, I think there's so many of us who, hold so much, specifically women, and feeling like we're going to be criticized, we're going to be judged, you can't say anything. And the beautiful part about it is like this whole journey, as difficult as it's been, has just brought Will and I closer in such an authentic way. Instead of trying to be a thing, it's like just tearing all that down and finding what's true between us.
Wow.
And it's been beautiful. It's been difficult.
It's been difficult,
but beautiful.
Because one thing people were really still concerned about or confused about really was, okay, hang on. They've been divorced in theory, but not on paper.
Yes.
They were not together, but kind of pretended they were together. So I had trouble articulating exactly why that was. So now that you've had more time, why was that?
We really needed time to get solidified because at the end of the day, Will and I love each other. We had to really figure out what we wanted before we went into the world to say what was going on, because we were in such, we were just kind of in this very fragile place. And so now we're just super solid.
Yeah.
And so now I can actually talk about what the journey has been.
So Will talked to the New York Times, or gave a statement, and this is what he says. We'll put it up on the screen. This is from the Times itself. The memoir, Will Smith said in an email, kind of woke him up. She'd lived the life more on the edge than he had realized, and that she is more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he'd understood. And this is the quote. When you've been with someone for more than half your life, he wrote, a sort of an emotional blindness sets in, and all you can do, and you can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties. It sounds like an emotional blindness. He didn't see you. Is that kind of what it was?
I think, that's so universal in relationships. He didn't see me and I didn't see him, right? Yeah. And so we kind of had to go our separate ways to see each other. You know, because when you're in a relationship and you're kind of just pulling at that person to be something for you refuse to see them. And so we had to go our separate ways to really look at ourselves and see the blocks that we had in order to find a way back.
One part that was very sensitive with you, and it was very touching to me that you'd gone through it, but you talked about the idea that you were maybe going to kill yourself.
Yeah.
You felt like you were not, your kids would have been better off, Will would have been better off, everyone would have been better off without you.
Yeah.
What did your kids think when they saw that part of your story told in that way?
Well, I've talked to them about it. Like,
So they know.
Yeah, they knew. They knew before the interview came out. But I was talking to my mother the other day, and everybody knew that I was very unhappy, but just couldn't figure out why. Because everybody thought how I thought. You've got everything. What is wrong with you? Because I didn't know what was wrong with me either. Because you have to remember, during that time, no one was really talking about mental health.
Yeah.
And so we just did. I didn't understand, and nobody around me understood.
The other thing people asked me was, you talked about how you were at the brink, and then you took something, and it changed you, and it was ayahuasca.
Yeah.
For you. Ayahuasca really was...
That was the turning point.
So that in and of itself turned you from the brink of suicide.
And I never had a suicidal thought again. Now, in saying that, ayahuasca is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I want to be very clear about that. You have to really have someone who's very trained to guide you through that. It was a very extreme situation for me, but I swear I'm so grateful that I went through it, because in 4 days and 4 excruciating nights, but on the other side, I never...
And you never had a suicidal thought since then?
Never.
The title of your book is Worthy, and so today as we sit here on this couch...
I feel worthy.
Tell me.
Yeah, I just feel so good. I've been through so much, and when you can really look at your life, and we think that life is supposed to be perfect, and when life isn't perfect, we feel like, oh, then I'm not worthy, then something's wrong with me, and that's not what it's about. We get challenged with life in order to keep building our self-worth, to keep finding our greatness, and so that's what the book is about. It's about that journey.
If you find another great love, or if Will finds another great love.
There's no finding another great love, and I think that's the point. It's like, we are in a place now that we are in a deep healing space, and we are really concentrating on healing the relationship between us.
So it may not be the divorce on paper anymore?
There's no divorce on paper.
I mean, not on paper. There might not be a divorce in theory anymore?
Yeah, no, we really have been working hard.
Oh.
See?
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
I was trying to think. I totally missed that on the whole. That's the whole thing.
So wait, just so I'm 100% clear. You were divorced, not on paper, but now we might be at a point where we're back together.
We are working very hard at bringing our relationship together.
Back to a marriage again.
Back to a life partnership. Yes. Because here's the thing about husband-wife marriage for me, my healing process. I came into that with very specific ideas, right? Very specific ideas that were blocks to me just seeing Will as who he is. He can't be this perfect, idealized husband.
Yes, of course.
I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is. He accepts me for the human that I am, and we want to love each other there.
Okay, so you might live in the same house and have this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then that's the only part. That's the only part in the special that I felt like got lost.
Well, guess what? It is found. We found it today. We found it today. Jada, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. You guys, check out the book Worthy. It's got a lot of life lessons in it, beautifully written, and it tells you so much about your life story. So much in here about how you raise your children, your life before there. It's full of richness. So, Jada, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Book's out tomorrow. All right, Mr. Roker, how about a check of the
We landed the plane, baby.
We landed it. Yes.
Wow, the BS coming out of her mouth. Al even said, land that plane, honey. She was speaking like a cult member. All she needed is a little sunflower there. The response Will gave was no better. It was all over the place, pretty much saying that she's sneaky. They tried to romanticize the confusion in their relationship. This is not for the public. These books and storylines, I believe, are for someone particular or some group particular. Life partner, Jada, it is safe to say, if it is true to say, that Will is your husband.
Fun fact about me. I can take a nap almost anywhere.
Well, you would think Will would be out here defending his wife by slapping everybody and not making these goofy comments and everything. Jada is taking criticism on behalf of the both of you guys. The man you slapped, Will, he just asked your wife out and she refused, right? Why is this taken publicly? They hid it for 7 years that they were not together. You could have hid it another 7 years. What Will is revealing as opposed to what Jada is revealing and has done. August Alsina, shine the light on what's really going on in your marriage. You should have been mad with him, and you do not refute anybody's narrative. Jada's narrative, that is. Jada wants attention from her paper husband, Will. I was thinking when Chris Rock told that G.I. Jane joke, was he going to follow it up with him asking her out again? He may as well, because everyone else has. Well, she turned Chris Rock down, and I know she wasn't appalled. What was it? The age, or was it the morals, Jada? Jada responded to the message Will post, notification off, with laughing and crying emojis. Jada and Will is very calculated. I believe Jada indeed wants to be with Will, but what expense should Will be with Jada at this point? I believe there's more to come. I hope it is not about their bedroom stuff or sexuality, because I'm cringing over here just talking about it. I want to know their end game, but she is pushing it to no return. We just want her to be quiet. Will supports everything that she does because the solution is simple. There will be some hurt feelings though, but she's also giving me message to wannabe side chick and future wives. Hands off, he is still mine. This whole situation is giving me embrace yourself. There is more to come out of this couple, because they are taking away the shock value when we hear the other news that is coming. Or all of this could be Will and Jada really don't want to be with each other and don't want anyone else to have the other. So y'all tell me what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.